morning, Anna. Did you go to yoga this morning?
Of course not.
Why? Of course not.
Because, just 20 minutes longer in bed just sounded way more appealing.
Okay. Let's get it started. Good morning, everyone. It is season 2, episode 1. Congratulations to the podcast team, to the Family Online Safety Institute, to everyone who's involved, and to all the digital parents out there. We got a season 2 approved. Maybe Leslie can put in some fireworks or drums or I don't know, something exciting in the background. But I'm joined by, first of all, I'm Jordan Glover, and we have Jana Folmert here. Let her introduce herself.
I love how you say my name. You say it with a certain flair, Jana Folmert. So I'm with the family as well, with the Family Online Safety Institute. I'm the marketing and creative lead. I've been working with you guys for 2 years now, I believe.
Wild.
It is wild. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's an absolute great place to be, and I love what we're doing, what we're trying to achieve, especially since we're all parents and we see the outcome firsthand of what it does and what it doesn't do.
Yeah, I mean, you're a rock star. You keep us on our toes, but you're also a good time. But most importantly, you are a single mom of one, a teenager. So you are physical parenting and digital parenting completely by yourself. God bless you. But in a way, like speaking from my own experience, I marvel at the relationship that you have with your son. Like it's grounded in respect, which is huge, right? Like people who say like, oh, teenagers, and I just don't feel like you have to say that about yours. Anytime I see him interact with you, it's very much like, it's playful, it's kind, it's fun, but it's also grounded in like respect, still knowing that you're his parents. And I love that.
I appreciate that. I mean, there's also an outside view and an inside view. So I have the same, at home, I have the same moody.
He's perfect. Keep to the compliment.
I take it as I teach him well enough to be aware of the outside world and what to portray, not to give all the, I don't want to do anything. I just, everything sucks. So that kind of world is just between us, and he can be in a judge-free zone, the moody teenager he needs to be to work through growing up and becoming an adult. I'm fine with it. I'm not made of sugar, as us Germans like to say.
Listen, not being made of sugar is not a bad thing, okay? Made of steel. So I know you took our quiz. I would love to know your results. I am a Firewall.
Why am I not surprised?
No patience, none whatsoever.
That's hilarious. But I get it, because I didn't completely grow up with when all the social media and everything was there. So it is a little bit of a different world. So having to raise 2 kids from the absolute beginning of this is a little bit different. However, my son grew up with an iPad in a sense. So I get it. But I took the quiz, and not surprisingly, I'm the mentor. I don't want to say clash, but we often discuss the merits of screen time and whatnot. And, you got to know my parenting style, which is more aligned with, I want to encourage you to make the right decisions. I don't believe in forbidding things and restricting things too much, because the big wide world will come soon enough. The moment, we ship you off to college at the very least. And then you have to be able to make those decisions on your own without mommy in the background and telling you what to do. So from early on, I try to encourage him to just look out for the dangers and be able to read the room and protect himself. So mentor makes complete sense to me.
Yeah, that wasn't a surprise for me either. I mean, you're everyone's mentor. So let's You're firm and brutally honest, but like in a good way. There is no fluff or must with you. So I can imagine that being the same with like parenting, right? Um, so do you all like game together?
Well, I'm a creative. So I'm a creative director. That's my role. So I have a little bit of different experience because I one of my first jobs was doing advertising for Sony PlayStation.
How
So I
fun!
actually I know it was super fun. And I had in my office a debugging station. So that was them before they ever came out, the games. I got to test them. So I know quite a bit about gaming and Ratchet and Clank. It was a lot of fun. So I'm very open to that. And now I don't do it as much. I tried the Wii, but it was like, oh, it was I don't know. The virtual
I
worlds
love
are not
the
for me.
Wii. I missed my Wii so bad. I saw it on eBay and it was so expensive. I was like, why can't it just be like an old nostalgic thing that's like cheaper now because everyone had a Wii?
I I'm not in the stage right now where I enjoy it, but I can
Mhm.
absolutely see myself being one of those seniors one day, just gambling away. Absolutely can see that. Then I foretold my future. I can see that. He became a gamer during COVID, honestly, and a gamer in a sense that he played with his friends. That was a way of him connecting and staying in contact with his friends and in all the chat rooms and whatnot. And it had a lot of positive, and it helped him stay connected. He made a lot of new friends. He actually made friends in the gaming world that he met with in person after lockdown was over, which I
Oh,
thought was quite
I love
cool.
that. So how did that work? Because I'm curious. And like for any new listeners, just so you know, I am a mom of preschool age kids. Yana's
Mhm.
kid is, oh my gosh, she's gonna be 16, right?
Yeah, he's turning 16 in the summer.
Mm.
I'm still in shock. Like, how the hell does this happen?
Congratulations, by the way. That's a huge milestone for you as a
Yes.
parent as well.
Woo.
So how old was he during the pandemic period?
Well, he was in his like 10, 11, I guess.
Okay.
Like
So
six now. Yeah.
So parental controls, how did that work? Or as a mentor, were you just playing it with him? Like, how did you introduce that to your kid? Because I'm thinking about my oldest, and I'm like, 10 is young, but at the same time, I guess it just depends on maturity. But at the same, you still want him to be connected. So, what gave you the confidence to know that, like, him chatting to anyone, or could you block the age of the people he was talking to?
So there's an honest answer and there's a not honest answer.
Listen, always be honest. We are here. This is a judgment-free zone. 2020 was a desperate time for a lot of us, okay?
I started with good intentions. So when we set it up, I put the parental controls, not content below this, like show only websites below this age, all that. And that went out the window, I think, after 2 days because I got constant requests of why can I not play this? Why can I not see this? Like what the hell? And we were working nonstop. I had 80-hour weeks. It was a lot of us were just constant working, and it was a lot. So I just gave in and I took all the controls off. However, I have to say I observed him before. There was a little bit of a scary situation where somebody threatened him over a game. I mean, they were kids, threatened him. I'm like, I'm gonna tell you, mommy, and I'm gonna do something to your mommy, and blah 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 blah.
Mm,
And he really scared him. However, what I liked how he responded, and I realized he did took all my lessons of never say your real name, never say your real age, never ever say where you live or what area very much to heart. So I'm like, okay, let's address this. He's trying to scare you because you whooped his butt in the game, and it's a little bully behind the screen. However, he has nothing on you because he doesn't have your name. He doesn't have where you live. He knows nothing about you. So there's nothing that can happen. And I showed him that, I use certain things where we hide a little bit our IP address. And that is something I have always done and always do. So I'm like, he can't even track you. And and I showed him all this. I showed him the tech behind it, and I showed him like you are safe, you are okay, you did all the right things. He cannot get to you. So what you're gonna do is you just sign off of this, close down your account. That was a lot of tears. And then you're gonna start over in 2 weeks, and all your friends, who love you and support you, you're just gonna play something else for now. And that was it. And he managed it really well. And I was like, okay, you earned the trust. And of course, he did, the fake social media accounts of like, hey, I'm 16. Of course they all did. And they got workarounds for their school computers. They're so smart. They know what they're doing. They know it better than us. And when I have a questions, I go to him and he explains it to me. But that's what I mean. He was in a scary situation and he did everything right and he knew how to handle it. And most importantly, he came to me crying, but I helped him through it. So this is for me a successful digital parent because you teach and you encourage him to handle those situations. And that is for me, that's bigger than anything else. It's one of the main lessons you can give your kid. Don't ever say your real name. Don't ever say your real age. Don't ever tell them your parents' age or name, and don't tell them where you live.
Don't tell
If
your parents' age digitally or in person because
yeah,
it's no one's
right.
business how old your mommy is. Tell them to mind their business.
Guessing the birth year, for security questions. So they have to understand the why, I think is important because it leads back to security questions. And once you explain that, they get it.
Yeah. No, I'm of course at the age where everything is why. And I really am being patient and answering the question the best that I can
Yeah.
for like how people say talk to me like I'm a 5-year old. I'm literally talking to an almost 5-year old. So I'm like, how do I explain this in a way that will not scare him, but
Yeah.
also explain enough that he can understand or ask more questions if he's curious, more curious. So, first of all, I love all of what you're saying. I'm going to take a deep breath every time I think about him becoming to an age where he's like, I want to chat with people on my iPad or the computer or whatever you're playing games on. It's like, what would Yana do kind of thing.
Give him
um,
chocolate, first of all.
oh my
You're way
God.
too sick.
That is a physical parenting advice. That is a different podcast. We can talk about how I don't give my children any candy another day. But I'll send them to Auntie Yana's house if they
Yes.
want chocolate. Um,
Yes.
but I think the other thing is that you brought up like a huge like tech question, and I'm curious: is the IP blocker something that like is easily accessible, or is that something that you have to educate yourself on, or have the
Mm.
resources in order to do it? Me thinking as like our audience that like is not tech savvy
Mhm.
or like, does not have the resources or possibly doesn't know what an IP address is and that's how people can
Yeah.
track them. If you could like go through that because I don't think mine is hidden. I would love to hide mine.
Yeah. It's very simple. It's basically just there's a couple providers and I switched through the years where I get the best offer. I mean, this is, there's really not that much to it. And just type it in and you get all the providers. I'm currently with Surfshark just because I had a great deal. And they gave me a fake ID with it, which is super helpful. So they created a real fake ID with an email, a phone number, and a physical address, which I now use. For instance, if you want an insurance quote or whatever, I can use that. And in the app, it shows me the security questions when it comes in, but I no longer can be hounded by insurance agents calling me because I use that. It's fantastic. There's a lot of providers, but it came with my IP thing. And the reason I started doing it is honestly because I spent the summers in Germany and with my son, and he wanted to watch his American shows. So I just pretend to be back home and here in the States, and so he can watch all the shows
The
while
important things.
yeah. So, but now I have it. Some sites are struggle a little bit because they have tight security, so you just pause it, and it's a desktop app. I have it on my phone. It's everywhere, and you can say which country you want to be in, or you just pick the fastest, so it's wherever. It just basically tells the website, the ones that target us, and see like hey, I'm here, and I'm gonna give you the closest shop because you searched for this. It tells them, no, I'm actually not in Jersey or New York, I'm in Texas. So wherever it is, it gives you an extra sense of protection. It tells the other computer a different location than you actually are.
Is it like a VPN blocker?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that, and I'm gonna look into this.
I
Um,
probably said all the wrong technical terms, but
Fine.
it's
We're
what
all
it is.
listen, this is not the professional I know everything podcast. This is the honest parenting, digital parenting podcast where we're all trying to figure this out together. Well, tell your son I said hi. He's awesome. I hope to see him soon. Love that you're a mentor. Maybe I can aspire to be one when I have a 10 to 16-year-old. For now, I'm comfortable being a firewall. They don't need to be chatting with anyone and they don't need to know what it is. Their only
See?
friends are their neighbors, their soccer teams, their school friends, etc. I encourage the audience. By the way, it's more than 10 of you guys. Thank you all so much. Super sweet. So I can say all 50 of you.
It has been a great ride. I was involved, if I may, to get this going, and we're producing it in the background, and it's been so fun and joyful watching this come together, and quite honestly, being a success from the start is great, because it's voices like this are really needed, because we all parents, we all struggling.
And it is okay to admit that we are struggling in the physical world and the digital world because it's all very hard.
Yeah.
I also want to point out that this is recorded, and you said that it's grown and that you love it and that we're doing a good job. And I just want the audience to know that Yana has not always said that she loved it. She gives us very pleasant critiques. Let's say it that way. They're constructive, they're blunt, they're true, and have a glass of wine after Yana's feedback. But yes, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I believe that is, but it's also part of my upbringing, but also part of my job is, don't waste time. It doesn't help you when everybody just tells you, "Oh, you're great, you're wonderful." You need an honest opinion. Otherwise, you cannot be better or make better. And it just needs to be more honestly in our world. I believe that. So I do maybe say it strictly, but it comes from the heart.
It's perfectly fine. Just make sure you have a strong backbone. Feedback. She will let you know if you have spinach in your teeth or that in the cave for sure.
Why wouldn't somebody tell them that? I never understood that. You
it,
stand
it
next to someone at a party, they don't tell you. This
Yes,
is
very
really
uncomfortable. I don't understand this world. Make sure you be like, hey, you got a little something, you know? Back to our 50 audience members. How about you ask your kid, honestly, of any age, what was your favorite thing you did together in the last month, but like did together online? Do you all have movie night? Do you have a game that you all like as a family, or just if it's you and just your kid? Shout out to all the single parents out there. What do you all do together that brings you together online, and find the positives behind it? There's a lot of like negative talk about screen time and how it's not great, but on rainy days and times where you can't go outside and you're stuck in the house, what are you all doing together? But also when you're out, does everybody have an Apple Watch? Maybe that hike was fun and that counts too. Has your son told you what his favorite thing was this past month that you did together?
Yes, I'm trying to be better with communicating and having those open-ended questions that actually gets a teenager to talk, instead of like, "How was school?" "Fine." Instead I'm trying to ask, "So what was your favorite class today?" And then he actually takes a moment to think, and like, "Why did you like it?" It's just, you get like 5 sentences out, and I take that as a win. So I'm trying to be better at that, at communicating in general. So I asked him what was the favorite thing we did together in the last month. Just I wanted to do it again together and to get him to talk and to see where his head is at. And funny enough, it was something we went in the city, I think to the West Village, and walked around and went to one of his favorite sushi places he saw online. And we did a really big, nice omakase dinner, which was endless omakase, and he loved that. So it was funny enough, getting something online, a tip, and then looking it up in the real world and experience it together and sitting there and for a couple of hours and eating and chatting. I mean, somewhat chatting. Let's be honest, still a moody teenager, but we did get to talk a little bit, and it had unlimited sake, so it was fun for me too.
He saw it on the talk, TikTok.
Yep. Yeah. No, it was actually Instagram, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to those days where it's like, I want to go get sushi from this place that I saw online. It's like, do you have money to pay for the sushi place that you saw online? Because what in the world?
That's actually a tip for parents. He sends them to me. So again, another form of communication. So he sends them to me either text or directly in the Insta chat. And then I take that place and I have created a Google map that is with me and him. And then I put all those places in there. And it's, my son's food adventures. And then
I
we go
love that.
right? And when we walk around in the city or we have like a couple of hours to spend, I just look around what is closest to us and then we try it out. It's a great way of a little bit planning, but also showing them, hey, I take you seriously and I remember your likes and whatnot. And look, we have always something to do.
Yes. Also less work for you because constantly planning for preschoolers that like don't know where anything is, I mean, you remember.
Yeah, the problem is I don't remember what happened this morning or 10 minutes ago. So it works in all ways. Highly recommend Google Maps.
Thank you, Jana. All right. Well, that is the end. I will leave the parents with this. Parents with young kids, please find a mentor digital parent that has been there, done that. They currently have teenagers. It's super helpful to have these conversations. I've learned so much just within this conversation, but like I said, Jana's just genuinely her personality. She's a mentor anyway, but maybe you'll find that you're a mentor now of preschoolers. And when you become a parent of teenagers, you want to be more of a digital parenting firewall, which is all of the different archetypes are fine and fair, just as long as you're engaging and having those conversations. So, but this was great to have you on season 2, episode 1. This was so fun to get to know your digital parenting style. Thanks again for joining. Super excited for episode 2. And yay, we did it. Woohoo! Oh, and if you want to take the quiz, please go to FOSI.org. That's FOSI.org. And thanks for joining us. Take care, everyone. This podcast is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional advice, including medical, mental health, or legal guidance. The views expressed by hosts and/or guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the Family Online Safety Institute, otherwise known as FOSI. Guest contributions are based on personal experience and are not intended as professional guidance. Any mention of products, services, organizations, or tools is for discussion purposes only and does not constitute an endorsement by the Family Online Safety Institute